Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk about I'm sorry for Iran. The situation in Iran is happening now is really fierce and it's really sad for everyone else. The basic reason before I just watching the news whenever I'm seeing the people they are just getting passed away, at least 1,000 people Iranian just getting away by the government, and it is a really sad situation for everyone else, and we need to get to listen from it. So it is not about the protests and the strikes happening on the streets. There are also the names which I want to remember again for Iran. The first one is like, maybe if I can show it, it will be better. There are some names here. The first one, Nika Shakarami, and the other name, which is Shavin Hajipur. There are the two important names are happening here, and whenever I see this event, I became so sad because the first reason, Masha Aminis and other Nika Shakarami, the first one is like, I just checked her case and her family, and even she tried to burn out and hijab. Why? Because they also wanted to protest the government, because the Iranian people not feel themselves the Iranian anymore, and they also want to burn the flag. Why? Mostly the president Mr. Ali Khamenei just try to dictate his ideas by using the flags, and that's the reason why Iranian people are just hating this flag anymore. So it's understandable. It's a really relatable idea here. I'm really just understanding them. Lastly, I want to mention it. Whenever I'm just watching the news, people are dying, and the government just trying to trying to defend themselves. And but meanwhile, some of the Iranian people are dead, and most of the government showing the only the small amount of money, small amount of people trying to burn out some government places. They are doing just like the rebellion, but most of the people not trying to disobey the rules. But it is really fake, and it is not really true. Whenever I'm checking the news, I cannot just keep my feelings in my sight. Even my English is not perfect. I also want to just commit my ideas to you. You know, the situation is really getting fierce, and the economic situation, most of the Iranian government just supporting the Hezbollah or another just like organization like the Hamas. So meanwhile, the Iranian people are suffering because they need to pay more money to Hamas or the Hezbollah for just like fighting with the Iran indirectly. But the economy is just getting boom, and it is being decreasing. That's the reason why people are just trying to do protests on the streets. But if you are just treat the government like the Nika Shakarami, she also did it, but she went to the prison, but she get tortured by the police officers. Maybe she get harassed. Even we don't know whether she get the sexual violence. But meanwhile, in the prison, most of the Iranian government taking the people to the prison, and maybe they can torture you. That's the reason why most of the Iranian people don't want to say anything bad for the government. They don't want to against the government. So another name, the Shavin Hajipur, he also went to the prison. So mostly the Iranian people don't like this regime after the Islamic Revolution, like the Ali Khamenei just came to the just governing the country approximately. I'm not sure, maybe the more than 20 years. Before this Islamic Revolution, the Iranian people were so different. They were very secular, and they weren't wearing hijab. Even they have the secular universities, but now even there is some policies for just the moral policies, like they are just controlling all your moment, and the girls and the boys cannot sit with together. I have also some friends coming to Turkey from Iran. If you are just uncover your hijab, the mostly in Iran people say this kind of girls beach. So It is really everywhere situation. The mostly men trying to make the girls wearing hijab. If you are not wearing hijab, you will get labeled as a horse, maybe as a bitch. So the situation is really sad and it's really awkward here. So I'm very sad because the young people in Iran trying to against with the regime because they also know that the regime dictates their ideas to Iranian people. So the mullahs trying to control the Iranian people and mostly the girls trying to make a revolution for the Iranian government. Most of the people don't like the Iranian Ali Khamenei. Why? The basic reason for that, the Ali Khamenei doesn't come into the just like this chair with election. The election is just forbidden in Iran. There is a like indirect election, and most people just trying to vote like they are pretending like a vote, but the conclusion is not different. That's the reason why they want to just start a rebellion in the Iran. But the rich people and the wealthy people start a rebellion, but mostly the poor people have been passed away. That's the reason why I'm just saying these ideas in a very heartbreaking realities. The first, most of the poor people are just complaining and they are just starting to fight with the government, but most rich people just staying at their houses, in their homes, and they are watching the news. But most of the, like, how can I say, this kind of people not guilty, they are dying. The Iranian people are dying, so it is really sad. I'm just watching them. There are a lot of just crabs, and their families are really sad for that situation. So what we can do is here just trying to understand it. The mostly the yacht people don't like this regime and they want to turn back their origin before the Iran revolution. So the situation makes me fly into a temper whenever I'm just seeing the situation. Another name I want to mention, Masa Amini. She was also a figure here, and this figure. Sorry, my microphone is just get closed. This figure is also important, like the Masa Amini. So people are trying to just find a solution here, but mostly all the solutions not coming from a one side, and people cannot get what they want. The people here between the 20s and 30s cannot get married, cannot buy a house. Even just like finding a job is impossible in Iran. The people are suffering. The families cannot getting fulfilled of the nutrition. They can get the healthy nutrition, and the babies are dying from starving. So people here is really right, just starting a revolution and rebellion to the government. But the most the thing, as I mentioned that before, the government trying to dictate his ideas, and even they can use the gun. They can use the power. That's the reason why the Iranian people can get killed. And that's the reason why I'm so sad for that. Even they want to try something, they want to achieve something, but in the end, the situation is not their wishes. And also, I have checked that some Iranian people are living in Turkey, and they are trying to make an attack to the Iranian government from here. It's also respectful. I understand their situation because mostly they don't like this regime. Even in Turkey, this regime is not very preferable, but the reason is the mostly people can live in a peace. Like even mostly in Turkey, the Turkish people aren't so like the Islamic, and they have a different kind of a point of view for the Islam. It's understandable. The Iran is also same, but in Iran, if you just say your opinions, if you say your just wishes, if you say your just ideas, probably you can get into the jail. That's the reason why the situation is really sad for us here. So another reason, as I mentioned that before, what's happening in Iran, it's not only the protesting the government. People are just suffering. They cannot find a decent job. The working cars are also so just getting crazy. Even finding a job is so impossible. The inflation has skyrocketed in Iran. So people trying to escape to another country, and the situation like the Azerbaijan Iranian people living in Iran, Azerbaijan doesn't accept this kind of Azerbaijan Iranian people. Also, in Iran, there are the kind of people like the Turkish Iranian people are living also in Iran. So Iran is so important for the Turkey because there's a great kind of relationship between Turkey and Iran. But as I mentioned that before, the USA just trying to fight a battle in the Iran. They are starting to some revolution, and they're maybe trying to just give just attack to Iran. Even the Israel attacked the Iran before because the Iran government says that the Israel or USA can attack us anytime. That's the reason why they want to just push the protesters away. So it is really understandable here. So because they want to protect their countries in the end, but we cannot neglect that the Iran is suffering economically and people cannot find a decent job. Even the government shows the life is really normal in Iran on the television. Most of the televisions are saying the lies. I mean, I checked Iranian televisions. In the Iranian televisions, it says the situation is very normal. Nothing is abnormal here. People are living in their lives. Mostly the economy is something like a close. All the just like the sellers or traders trying to shut their work environments, their work offices. So the economy is getting the match. So Iran is also understand that because there's a protesters even in the trading offices and other offices as well. So the art became a substitute language, as I mentioned, that the youth, generational rupture, and the politic exhaustion, the deep generational divide, the structural exhaustion, and the emotional identification. The Iran people also just suffering from emotional identification. Mostly they are checking the Instagram and they are watching the people. I am also doing the same. I'm just opening an Instagram and I'm just compare my life to the others, and the Singaporean, Japanese people are living best of their lives. They can go to the Tokyo Tower, they can go to the French and other countries, but the Iranian passport level is very low, and that's the reason why most Iranian people hate from the government because they think like their passport value is very low. Like the Iran situation and the Turkish situation is really are really same because as a Turkish someone who is me, we are also suffering. Our passport value is very low. We cannot go to anywhere else. But as I just research, as much as I research, I can easily say that they also missing the Pehlivan Rıza. The Rıza is very important. He also just meet with the Atatürk. And mostly the Iranian people just missing the Pehlivan Rıza, and mostly they are just supporting where is the Pehlivan Rıza? They don't like the Ali Saman Ali Name. I couldn't say his name. Maybe if I just Ali Khamenei. Yeah, mostly they don't like the Ali Khamenei, and they are just wants to just turn back the Pehlivan Rıza because the situation is really different, and really they are really long for the Pehlivan Rıza. He was a very important figure for the Iranian people. Even he just went to the Yemen or another country because the Iranian government didn't like him, and they sent the Pehlivan Rıza to another country when he was just getting older, because he also just managing the country by the Soviet Union's the support, etc. But the situation is really different. We need to delve into it another time. So the woman visibility and the symbolic politics of the body. Okay, there are a bunch of body policies in Iran. If you just don't wear hijab, if you just open your body, if you're open your arms, mostly people will going to judge you and they will label you, and you are not obeying the Islamic Sharia rules, and you are a bitch, and you are just disobeying the rules, and you are being misfit for the Iranian nation. So people can feel themselves the match and getting hurt because they cannot say their own feelings. If you say your own feelings to the government directly, like the North Korea, they can just torture your family members. For example, you don't like the Iranian government. Like if you are just open a YouTube channel, if you say I don't like the Iranian government, what's happened next? For example, even if they don't find me, they can find your parents and they can torture your parents. That's the reason why the freedom in Iran has been lost already. That's the reason why most of the Iranian people just complain about the situation. They are also just coming here. One, just maybe 6 months ago or the 7 months ago, I had a friend whose name is Faiza. She came here. She was so beautiful. According to my opinion, the Iranian women are so beautiful and they are very unique in this universe. But the situation is so different. Most of the people are getting die here and they are getting the violence. They are getting tortured by the government. So the situation is really sad for the Iranian people. They can get into the jail even they are protesting the government. So most of the people wants to leave the Iran. The most of the youth people wants to go to the Europe, Canada, or United States, maybe the Japan. The Iranian people don't want to live in Iran. It's also understandable. But in the end, the situation is really different because their passport value is very low, and even they are trying to make money, it's really hard. Getting the groceries aren't so easy there. So most of the Iranian people cannot reach to get the exact nutrition. So people are just complaining about the situation. It's really understandable. Even the government news trying to dictate their ideas. We are normal and we not happening that here. You are also just misleading the society, like they are just blaming you. But in the end, the situation is really understandable. The Iran is just trying. Just in the Iran, it looks like collapsing. So nobody can going to deny it. We need to allow the situation just to spread around the world. Okay? The cultural influence, everyone might like the exile doesn't necessarily marginalize the cultural influence. Most of the Iranian people missing the old generations, like the before the Islamic Revolution. The Iran Islamic Revolution make the people very different. Even the government start to use the censorship to media. Even you are using media, you are not free. The dictatorship is trying to control or to manage all around the Iran people. There is a Instagram, right? And there's another social media accounts. Even they can use the Instagram. Maybe they can use the VPN or other else like the China. I don't know. But the thing is, even there is another social media which is belong to Iranian government, and mostly the Iranian government controlling your sharings, your posts. The Ali Khamenei just start a very different kind of powerful censorship to the media. So the dictator media can control everything what they post on the social media accounts on the internet. So people feel themselves under the pressure. And when you are saying your opinions, you can get into jail and the police officers can torture you. So what's happening here? The life is not what they expected before. The Iranian money is just getting decreasing. It's losing its value. So people trying to understand the situation, what's happening in Iran. So I have always wanted to travel around to Iran, just going to this kind of good places. Mostly even just using the driving, just getting a car in Iran is also hard. The girls just getting a lot of pressure. They cannot be free. There are two kind of classes in Iran. The richy girls, maybe they are near to government. They can be, and they don't have to wear the hijab, okay? But the low classes or the middle classes, but anymore there's no middle class anymore. There's two classes, the poor one, the rich one. The classes are dying also. As I mentioned that before, the poor classes need to or must to wear hijab. They cannot go out without their husbands or the brother childhood or their childs with a male child. So the situation is really fierce. And even in Tehran, I have checked the strikes, the protests, not only in Tehran, but also other cities. Members has trying to start a revolution, the strikes against the government, not only Tehran or this kind of small amounts of cities. So situation is really fierce here. So we need to think about it twice. The situation can lead the Iranian people start a revolution to the society or the government. Why? Mostly the Mr. Trump also announced that if the Iranian government try to just against with the society or trying to use the power to society, maybe just killing to their own people, the America said that the America can enter the Iran. So maybe they are utilizing this situation in order to just getting for like excuse for getting into the Iran with the Israel. So here the America aren't just separating the democracy. Okay, the America is not a very good country in the end. Mostly they have won this country with the blood. Even they have killed a lot of local people in the America. Maybe we are calling them the red people, the red Kızılderili in the Turkish language. So the America doesn't want to just make the situation just answer it and just a solution. Mostly the Iran trying to dictate their ideas. The America won't going to save you. We are just trying to understand the situation and just telling the truth. Don't you can just perceive it as a rebellion, as an attack by the America or the Israel, because the Israel attacked Iran before, but also Iran just support the Hezbollah and the Hamas in order to just attack the Israel. So mostly there's a two sides of the medallion. Okay, we need to check the one medallion side is not very enough. We need to check the other side of the medallion. So the another things like the media narrative and the control and the problem of single truth, crisis of credibility. Even you cannot use the credit in Iran because it's haram and it is forbidden there. Most Iranian people are just using the cash. If you want to go to the Iran, you need to use the cash. If you are using the credit card, it's not valid there. So another thing like the music against rebellions and artists such as Mahsan Chavoshi often navigate censorship through metaphor, ambiguity, and emotional resonance. This strategy reflects a broader cultural adaptation, saying less in order to mean more. So all the artists and all the musicians just get a censorship, and also they cannot reflect their ideas freely. That's the reason why the society trying to start a revolution. So the Iranian media shows that we are be together and that's everything is normal. But actually, in essence, nothing is normal here. There are a bunch of stations abnormal here. So the other thing I want to mention that the protest, the repression, and the limits of coercion. Historically, repression can suppress it, just the action, but rarely eliminates meaning. Iran demonstrates this pattern clearly. Protest cycles emerge and then just recede and reemerge, not because people forget repression, but because structural causes remain unresolved. Mostly the protesters trying to be just get viewed and trying to be like visible. Mostly the protesters say that we are invisible. The government doesn't take care about us. Mostly in Iran, the government taking care of small amount of the money, small amount of people. Even the people who is near to Ali Khamenei can go to the America, can go to the other countries. The society trying to start a revolution about it. Mostly the people, small amount of the mid aristocracy, maybe bourgeois, trying to live in a luxury life like the Nepal before. But here the situation is if they are just living in a wealth by using the Iranian people. They are not just getting wealth by themselves. Mostly their wealth coming from the Iranian people, the Iranian society. That's the reason why Iranian people wants to start a battle for that. And other the comedians, the other TV shows, dramas that's trying to this like the players and this like actors saying that it is normal even in your house if you are just debate with your father, would you just break the window or would you just like to break the kitchen or the refrigerator? Mostly the actors saying that the society. So we need to talk. And mostly the government says that we need to talk. But the Iranian people are just get bored of this situation. Talking, nothing get anything. That's the reason why Iranian people wants to start a battle. But here the another issue is people are dying in the Iran. Mostly the families are losing their own kinships, their own members. So the situation isn't set as I mentioned that before. Nobody can use this feeling. Everybody wants a better life. Everybody wants to just go travel around the world. Whenever I check the situation from the Iranian people, they are also using social media and they are checking the what's happening in the world. They can go to travel around the world. They can get married. They can get a lot of girlfriends. Even think about the Iranian man. You know, even getting a marriage is impossible in Iran. Even you need to pay more amount of money. But if you are checking, even in the Turkey, it's same. I'm checking the people on the social media. They can travel around the world and they can go to wherever they want and they can get fucked easily. But in Iran, you need to pay more money for delivery and other, like the bridge expenses. So the bridge credit, like the marriage credit. So the man mostly getting into the trouble whenever they are just trying to get married. Even if you are divorced, you need to pay alimony like that. Maybe in Iran it's the same. So most of the Iranian people doesn't like the regime and they are trying to come to Turkey and they want to live in Turkey. It's understandable most of the immigration from Iran to Turkey is just getting boom. So the situation is understandable. I'm not judging them. It's okay. It is like there is a correlation and there is a relationship between Turkey and Iran. The one thing I want to mention, I'm so sorry for the Iranian people because they are just getting die. Even the government trying to control the people and they can just send you to jail. So here the issue is really awkward here. As I mentioned that before, maybe the Ali Khamenei didn't want to just make the situation worse. But the thing is, the Iranian society doesn't like the Ali Khamenei. And they want to do the election. And they want to send the Ali Khamenei. And they want to Pehlivan Shah, the Reza, maybe their family members to manage the country. So they want secularity. They want to turn back their origins before the Islamic Revolution. So whenever I'm just checking this issue, it's very normal there, and we are also suffering. In Turkey, the situation is kind of same. Mostly there are secular groups here. They don't want to live under the Sharia or the Islamic rules. They want the secularity. But in Iran, the situation is also different. Mostly the mullahs, the people trying to manage the people by the Islamic Sharia. Mostly the girls. Whenever I had also another Persian friend. She also came to Turkey. I also asked the situation, what's happening in Iran? She said to me, there are a bunch of mullahs trying to control the Iranian people, and she said that she came to here and she ran away from this regime. So whenever I just heard it, I became so sad for her because mostly we cannot choose our places or countries or passport. Another thing, the economic crisis, they cannot get married. They are watching the people on the Instagram. Another reason is they can get married. They can get the money. They are just like they are jobless. They cannot find a job. Just being jobless is so hard in Iran. Just finding a job is really fierce, and people trying to just like starting the protest the government. If you don't have a job, what you can do? Like when you want to create your own job, it's impossible. Mostly there's a censorship, and mostly in Iran, if you want to create your own business, maybe it's really tough. Even the Turkey is really tough because mostly in Turkey, if you want to create your own business, people don't really support you. Even the government doesn't support you. Even the government don't support you. Maybe in Iran, the situation is so different. So when you want to create your own business, it's so hard. So people are trying to start a battle because the inflation crisis is really hard in Iran. Most people even want the groceries, okay? You cannot feed even your family members eating macaroni, eating just a pasta from morning to night. So I'm gonna say the truth, okay? Even some people in some places in Iran, it is really hard to get this item, right? Okay. In Turkey, maybe it's even this coffee. Maybe it's so hard in just buying this kind of groceries. Maybe if you just buy this groceries, you can just count as a middle class in Iran. But even in Turkey, it's like low upper class. But in Europe, even the poor people can buy it. So what is the difference here? The class structures are so awkward. As I mentioned that in Iran, the class structures aren't that separate. Well, that's the reason why people are just suffering. And they are trying to just start a revolution for the government, to the government. So the situation is really required here, and as much as I researched that, the people are dying there approximately at least 1,000 people, and this is not a very small amount of money. It is a very high level of the people dying in order to just like to collapse the regime. So I'm really sad for them. So whenever I see the people are suffering in Iran, I also feel like mostly in Turkey, it is the kind of same can happen. We need to get the lesson from it as a Turkish member. But also it is their problem in the end. It is not I'm Turkish, it's not my problem in the end. But whenever I see this kind of people are dying on the streets, they are being collapse, and they will go to the maybe they will go to the heaven. May Allah just like may Allah protect them. I hope they can go to the heaven and they have a better life there. But people are dying. The own Iranian people are dying. Mostly the families losing their own members. So it is really hard for us, for everyone else, because this fight after the Iran, the Turkey can experience the same thing. That's the reason why I'm recording my video, not only for the Iran, but also the Turkey has a potential to just get this event. So just the people can get separate each other. If the people get separate each other, it's gonna be worse. Most of the Iranian people should be together, and they need to do the things together because Iran is a very powerful country in the end. But the thing is, the mullahs, the Sharia regime, the other regimes, this trying to control the people. If they continue to do that, the protests will going to uprise, will going to just get boom. There's a potential. So in the end, if they really, if this like the revolution can spread all around the world and all around to just Iran, because it's not only valid for the 2 or the 5 cities, it is just valid for the all cities around the Iran. That's the reason why I want to just say my thoughts. I hope this situation just ends peacefully, but if not, probably there's a potential to spread around the world. Nobody wants this situation, right? Everybody want a peace. Everyone want to live in the comfortable station. But the other just locations and the places fights and starving is really hard. Are really hard for everyone else in the end. So thank you for watching me till now. As much as I do, I just try to understand my, just try to tell my thoughts to you. As I mentioned that before, I'm really sad for the Iranian people. I hope the situation will get get covered and the situation can get solved. But if not, I'm really sorry. Even for your loss, I hope it won't happen again, because everybody will gonna die someday, but everybody want a peace. Everybody need to live in a peace. We are just deserving because we are the human beings in the end. We also missing the peace, and we are also missing the just like order countries. Even if there is no order, there won't be any peace, right? If we want to create the peace, there should be an order in the table or on the table. So I hope the rules can just change peacefully. Even in Iran, there are some kind of people, that little amount of people, just away from the laws, and they can do whatever they want. Even in Turkey, the situation is the same. That's the reason why we have the same suffering idea here. We are just suffering the same topics here. Same topic here. That's the reason why I'm also sad for it. I hope the situation can just get healed, can get just solved. It will be better, I hope. I'm so sorry for your loss. I hope Iran can achieve and can get solved this situation. Thank you for watching with me now. Rest in peace for the people who have passed away. I hope they can just control the situation. May Allah help them. Thank you very much for watching until now. I hope I will be successful to whatever I try to say to you. Thank you so much. See you on next video. See you. I hope you guys will better. I hope you guys will be better.